Good morning everyone. Today we will be working on some hip mobility exercises, specifically targeting the outer hips. Now I'm going to begin by lying on my back, and all you need today would be a mat if you have one, or if you don't, you could use a towel to support your back, and just floor space. So from here I'm going to lie back, just releasing myself down. And I'm going to straighten both my legs on the mat. So my feet are together. And we'll start by bending the right knee towards the chest and just hugging that right knee. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the abdomen soft, the foot and the toes soft. And release. Now I'm going to bend my left knee towards my chest and just hug my left knee. Release. We're going to repeat this one more time. Bending the right knee towards the chest once again and just hugging the right knee. Keeping your lower back pressing down to the mat. Shoulders relaxed and abdomen soft. Last one on the left side. And release. Alright, now you're going to keep your arms down by the sides of your body. I'm going to bend the right knee to the chest once again, but this time I'm going to take the right leg out to the side, so I'm externally rotating. And as though I am drawing a circle with my right knee. So moving that whole right thigh bone around the hip socket. Imagine your right thigh is like a spoon that is stirring a pot of soup. And as you're starting to do this, you'll start to feel activity in the hip joints, the inner thigh, and also waking up the abdomen. And while you're doing this, try to keep the pelvis nice and stable, keeping the left hip, left buttock down on the mat. And see that you're not moving around too much when this is happening. Trunk is nice and still, shoulders are down on the mat. And now we change direction, going in the opposite direction. And release. And just for a few breaths, just start to observe the right side of your thigh, that release in the front of the thigh and in the hip flexor. And you'll even feel as though the right leg has become a little longer than the left. And our arms down by the sides of the body again. We're going to bend the left knee. And like we did earlier, we're going to take the left leg out to the side, externally rotating, and start to draw a circle with the left knee. And now we're going to keep the right hip, right buttock down on the mat. Trunk is nice and still, shoulders down. Now we change direction. We release. Just staying here for a few breaths, just observing both sides now. Now bringing your feet together once again, we're going to bend the right knee to the chest. But now you're going to hold onto the back of the right knee. And we don't want to have the knee too close towards the chest now. Move it away, the arms will stretch. Keeping both your buttocks down on the mat. From here, we're going to stretch the right leg. So waking up the hamstrings, the back of the knee, the calves, and then we bend. And we'll continue. We'll stretch and bend. And while you're doing this, see that you've got your right hip, right buttock down on the mat. And now we hold that stretch. And from here, we're going to flex and point. So just moving at the ankle joint. So really feeling lots of work at the back of the right leg, the calf, and also the front of the thigh as well. And to release, we bend the right leg, hug the right knee towards the chest, and release. So now we're going to do the other side. We're going to bend the left knee towards the chest, holding on to the back of the left knee, and we stretch and bend again. Keeping the left hip, left buttock down on the mat. And now holding that stretch, we flex and point. Once again, just moving at the ankle joint. And to release, bend the left knee, hug the left knee towards the chest, and straighten the left leg on the mat. Now we're going to do a bit of a flow on the floor. For this one, I'm going to take my arms out to the side. So I've got my palms in line with my shoulders. Feet are together. I'm going to bend the right knee. And this time I'm going to straighten the right leg. Now from here, as I exhale, I'm going to take my right leg out to the side. And you don't have to go all the way down till it touches the floor, just enough that you don't lift your left hip and left buttock off the mat. So feeling that all in the inner right thigh. And then bringing that right leg up. You also feel a lot of activity in the front of the thigh that's working very hard to keep the whole leg up. Now from here, I'm going to bring my right leg over to the opposite side. And here you can lift the buttock off the mat, just going all the way and just staying there. Feeling that all in the outer right thigh now. Just going for a nice twist. You can start to turn your chest towards the right as much as you can, trying to keep that right shoulder down on the mat. And just stay for a few breaths. And now to release, bringing that right leg up, bending the right leg and straightening the right leg on the mat. Now we're going to do the other side. So arms are still out to the side. We're going to bend the left knee and straighten that left leg. Now from here, we're going to take the left leg out to the side. Now the right hip and right buttock, as much as you can, keep it down on the mat. So feeling all that in the left inner thigh, left groin. You don't have to go all the way down to touch the floor, just enough that you're not rolling over like this. And now bringing that left leg up. From here, bring that leg towards the opposite side. And we can start to lift that buttock off the mat, just coming all the way. Feeling all that stretch now in that outer left thigh, that hip. Turning your chest towards the left side as much as you can, keeping your left shoulder down on the mat. And now to release, bringing the left leg up. and bending the left leg. And now from here, bring both your knees towards your chest. You can just rock from side to side and rolling over towards your side and coming up to a seated position. Now from here, we're going to go into a Z sit. So I'm just going to show you from this position. You're going to bend the right leg, and with this left leg, you're going to internally rotate it and bring it behind you. So you form like a letter Z. Now if your right buttock is really lifting off the mat, you could place a blanket or a towel below just so that the hips will level. If this is difficult for the knees, you could sit in a cross-leg position. Now from here, I'm just going to lean forward and place my forearms on the mat. And in this position already, I can start to feel that stretch in that outer right hip, the right buttock, the outer right thigh. And from here, I'm just going to lift my forearms off the mat and then releasing my forearms down again. And just continuing with this movement. Every time I release my forearms down, I'm adding additional load to really go deeper into that outer right hip and right buttock. And this is a level 1. If you want to go a little deeper for more of a stretch, you could take your arms out to the side, and from here release yourself down, so really feeling that a lot deeper in the outer hip and buttock, and come up, and then going down and up. So once again, adding in that load, the additional load, the load of the body as you release yourself down. And for the last one, you can stay down and just hold for a few breaths and release. All right, so now we're going to change legs. So I'm just going to bring my left leg forward. Now I'm going to bend my left leg. And with my right leg, I'm going to internally rotate and take it behind. So once again, forming a Z. And from here, once again, coming forward. Forearms down on the mat. And we start with our dynamic movement by lifting the forearms up and down. Up and down. So now feeling that in the left outer hip, left buttock, and for level 2, to go a little deeper, you can take the arms out to the side, releasing yourself down and coming up, down and up. So really adding that load as you release yourself down and up. And for the last one, just staying down, just hold for a few breaths. So really feeling all that in this area. And release. All right, thank you everyone.